Welcome to the Plant Trainers Podcast, where we're helping people improve their quality of life through nutrition and fitness. And now, your hosts, nutrition and wellness coaches, international speakers, Adam and Shoshana Chaim.
Hey, I'm Adam Chaim.
And I'm Shoshana Chaim, and we are Propelled by Plants.
Today we bring to you episode 444, Vegan Strength with Sexy Fit Vegan Ella Majors.
In this episode of the Plant Trainers Podcast, we talk with Sexy Fit Vegan Ella Majors about vegan strength. She shares her story about finding a vegan plant-based lifestyle and how it helped her stay young, fit, and strong. We also talk about everything Muay Thai, vegan workouts, nutrition tips, and we even get into mindset and how the words that we use really do affect us.
Ella is on a mission to transform the culture of the vegan movement from the inside out. Through visionary writing, inspiring talks, and compassionate coaching, she gives modern vegans the tools they need to heal and empower themselves in a world that challenges them at every turn. For years, she struggled with disordered eating, family turmoil, and self-doubt, but her dedication to advocating for the world's voiceless animals drove her forward. Ella's deepest gift is her ability to shatter patterns that no longer serve. She shows people that there are alternatives, that the comfort of the mainstream can be deadly, and that plant-based living is the quickest path to holistic health. If you're into fitness and nutrition, this is a great episode. Sure, you're going to love it. If you want a healthy, natural way to fuel your workouts or fire up your brain, Energy Bits are for you. Energy Bits are tiny spirulina algae tabs that are nutritionally dense, a source of mental and physical energy that is all natural and causes no stomach distress. They eliminate fatigue and hunger instantly with no caffeine, sugar, chemicals, gluten, or soy, just pure plant-based nutrition. One ingredient, 1 calorie, and 0 net carbs. I use them before workouts or sometimes just as a snack. They make me feel great and give me that extra energy boost I'm sometimes looking for. I also use Recovery Bits, which are tiny chlorella tabs. I use them after workouts or when I'm feeling hungry late at night. Visit energybits.com and order Energy Bits, Recovery Bits, Vitality Bits, or Skinny Bits, and use the promo code PLANTTRAINERS to get 20% off your order at checkout. The link will also be in the show notes just in case you didn't get that all down. Improve your energy, wellness, and waistline all at the same time with Energy Bits. Check out Energy Bits today and feel the difference. Your brain and body will say thank you. And now for a moment of gratitude.
Our kids have been playing rep volleyball, and of course it's been a couple of hard years for them to get some competition in, but we just got the opportunity to watch them play 3-day tournament with the Ontario Volleyball Association, and seeing their growth throughout the season, but also throughout the 3 days, and how they're able to deal with adversity on the court has just been, I'm just so grateful for that experience to watch them do it and for them to be able to have that as well.
I'm also grateful for watching them grow as athletes and volleyball players, and as a coach, sometimes it's hard to watch them as a parent on the sideline, but I'm grateful for the ability and opportunity to be able to do that.
Ella Majors, Sexy Fit Vegan, thank you so much for joining us on the Plant Trainers Podcast today.
Oh, thank you guys for having me.
We are super excited to talk. We love talking martial arts too. But before we get into that, we wanted to know if you have a moment of gratitude to share with us and the listeners.
I have many moments of gratitude. Today, I will choose the freedom that I have. Next week, I get to go up to Hogs and Kisses Farm Sanctuary, which I am on the board and haven't been in a few months. And I just cannot wait to spend time with our animals up there at the sanctuary. And the fact that I'm able to do that and have the freedom to do that I'm so grateful for.
And I'm sure that they're grateful for you as well. We've worked at animal sanctuaries before, and we know how the animals remember you, even when you come back weeks and weeks later.
Absolutely. Yes.
What kind of animals are there?
Yeah, so we're a fairly new sanctuary, but we've got 3 700-pound farm pigs. And yeah, it's been quite the learning experience, but they are just so phenomenal. We've also got some bunnies, and we'll be adding to that family over the next few months. We're going to be bringing in some new pigs as well. Yeah, they're just,
Massive.
Big teddy bears, man. They just still, I swear these animals remind me of my 9-pound Chihuahua because they just will get down on their knees and roll over and just say, belly rub time.
Belly.
Yes. Oh, it's so wonderful.
I don't know if people realize how big pigs actually get. And people think like, potbellies are pigs. So they're the little pigs that maybe most people see like Babe in the movie. But when you see these huge hogs or pig, like they're massive. They're big animals.
Yeah. We went to go pick them up last year in New York. The story was there was a production farm and the wife of the farmer fell in love with the pigs, and the last 11 were spared, and we went and were able to get 3 of them. And we, in our minds, we were thinking they were going to be about 350, 400 pounds. So when we got there and we looked in the barn, we were like, holy crap, are those bears in there? Like I had never been around a full, farm pig like that. And yeah, they're pretty massive.
They're huge.
And they eat a ton, and it takes a lot to feed them, right? There's some vegetables and fruits that they can eat, some that they can't. They do much better on organic food. So, when you say holy crap, I think they crap a lot too. They crap a lot too. You don't know the difference between the mud and the crap anymore. But yeah, and they can be scary, right? Because they're big and they're wild animals. But when you've got them like under your itch, yeah, it's awesome.
And they're loud. Their squeals are really loud. Yeah. There's lots of surprising things, but just amazing animals.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your journey into plant-based, into vegan, and what changed for you along the way.
Yeah. So it all started when I was 7 years old. I got in the car after school one day. I was in first grade, and we had learned about Daniel Boone in school. And for anybody who might not know who Daniel Boone is, he's one of our first American folk heroes. And he wore this raccoon hat and carried around a shotgun. He was, a wilderness guy. And I said to my mom, I was like, this guy was so mean. He shot animals and he ate them. And my mom was honest with me. And she said, well, we're just very fortunate. We get to go and buy our meat at the store and we don't have to do it ourselves anymore. And it was at that moment that the food on my plate, it clicked that was actually an animal. And I said, well, I'm never doing that again. And that was it. Never ate meat again, really got into researching. This is back in, so I went fully vegan at 15. That was in 1995. So there just wasn't a lot of information out there, readily available. So I sought it out and really got into the activism side as well. And never looked back. I knew it was my mission in life from a very early age to spread veganism.
Wow. And I guess you were too young to have any health changes, or did you see a difference in maybe how you exercised, or did you have better skin than your other teenage friends? Did you notice anything like that?
I was so strong. I started gymnastics and swimming when I was 5 years old. So I've always been into sports. And man, I remember in 5th grade being able to do more pull-ups than any boy in my class. So yeah, I was so active and had so much energy compared to a lot of my, classmates and things. Don't have a lot to compare it to because, I built my physique and I, started at such a young age, but I was full of energy. That's for sure.
How did you end up finding martial arts then?
Yes, well, I did a little taekwondo as well and growing up. But when I was 22 years old, I moved to Miami from North Carolina. Had a really tough transition. I was engaged. I had a big breakup. I was really under a lot of had some emotional issues I was working through. And this MMA champion kind of took me under his wing and started training me in Muay Thai. And wow, he was tough, man. I walked around with like a completely bruised everything for years. I didn't even know that people actually wore protective gear and shin guards and all this. So it was just so empowering to get to that point where I was strong and I wasn't afraid and I could, use it as a stress reliever and just that skill building, different than, and I lifted weights as well, but just having that moving meditation component of it was really, really important for me. And I've been practicing ever since, and really staying in the present moment it makes it so much easier when you're there and you're, sparring one-on-one with somebody. You can't be anywhere else, right? Or you're going to get knocked out. So it's always been kind of a moving meditation for me above all else, if that makes sense.
Totally makes sense. I mean, I think of sports in the same way, but to me, Muay Thai, Thai boxing, like that, to me, it's like such an intense, scary sport. Like
Yeah.
I remember being we were in Thailand and we saw a match and like live, and it was rough, it was violent, it was like all out, and there was no holds back. And like to think that you're going and you're doing that, like it's impressive, it's crazy, but it's that focus, that mental awareness that I guess you learn that in most martial arts that you practice, and to the extent that you want to, but it's super fascinating, all of that. And I can't believe you do that.
Oh, I'm so jealous. You guys were in Thailand and you went to the fights. Oh,
and that was back in the day when I was still practicing. So he was like, I was like, can I get in there? I was like moving with them. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
It's too much for me. I can't take that physical abuse is what I call it.
But
like
you do physical abuse to yourself in the form of like running, and
but it's
nobody can run the way that you can.
I can't run. No, I don't.
To me, it's like getting punched in the face or kicked in the mouth. And like, that just doesn't excite me. It doesn't for me, I'd rather just, I'll go for a run and I'll never come back. And, I use that time to focus. For me, that works. Like, I don't know. Everyone's different and likes what they like. It's just, to me, I can't believe people beat the crap out of each other like that. Like, it's insane. It's just insane.
So funny. Well, it's funny because I have no problem getting in and getting kicked and punched and all this, but I did the whole cold exposure thing the other week in an ice bath. Now that, oh no, nope. Just call me a wimp because nope, can't do that. Nope.
So were you able to take any of your concentration meditation philosophy from the Muay Thai and put that into the ice bath with you, or you just like lost it completely?
I really tried. And I don't like saying tried, but I keep going back to, I think I froze to death in a past life. That's like the logic. Yeah. It feels almost traumatic to me. It's interesting. I'm trying to figure it out.
I wonder, based on the lifestyle that you live, the vegan, the plant-based, what impact do you think that's had on your training, on your recovery? I mean, you look great. Look at you. Like, you don't look like you're getting beaten up or hurt, but I wonder if on the inside, like what's going on? Like, how has it helped you if it has?
Oh yeah. I think, I mean, I in my younger years, especially I'm 41 now, but I mean, I beat myself up. We're talking about Muay Thai and all that, but between Muay Thai and I'm kind of one of those all or nothing kind of people, right? So I just went all out, and I think I couldn't have gone. There's no way I could have gone as long as I did without eating an anti-inflammatory, diet and paying a lot of attention to eating clean and not only just vegan, but whole food, plant-based. And then the yoga really started to help too. And that was a big challenge for me too, slowing down and getting mindful, and I was kind of forced into it. And it took me about 8 years to start embracing it. But I think, the combination of the nutrition and the recovery, and now doing a lot of mobility. And as I get older, I've shifted a lot about my workout routine to make sure that I get in that recovery time. And it's tough for us fitness people. I think the recovery part is the hardest part, but you can't make progress without it, right? And you break down without it. So it's important.
There's so much more great information coming your way. But before we get to that, we wanted to share with you and let you know that if you want a healthy, natural way to fuel your workouts or fire up your brain, Energy Bits are for you. Energy Bits are tiny spirulina algae tabs that are nutritionally dense, a source of mental and physical energy that is all natural and causes no stomach distress. They eliminate fatigue and hunger instantly with no caffeine, sugar, chemicals, gluten, or soy, just pure plant-based nutrition. 1 ingredient, 1 calorie, and 0 net carbs. I use them before workouts or sometimes just as a snack. They make me feel great and give me that extra energy boost I'm sometimes looking for. I also use recovery bits, which are tiny chlorella tabs. I use them after workouts or when I'm feeling hungry late at night. Visit energybits.com and order Energy Bits, Recovery Bits, Vitality Bits, or Skinny Bits, and use the promo code PLANTTRAINERS to get 20% off your order at checkout. The link will also be in the show notes just in case you didn't get that all down. Improve your energy, wellness, and waistline all at the same time with Energy Bits. Check out Energy Bits today and feel the difference. Your brain and body will say thank you. And now back to the show.
Do you think that vegans or plant-based people need to work out differently than the rest of the population? Do you think that there's things that we need to pay closer attention to? Or is it maybe the opposite?
Yeah, no, I think, like I said, I think the nutrition, keeping it whole food, plant-based really does allow us to maybe, train a little more and train a little harder. I'm really into the intuitive piece of all of this as well, both with eating and with the workouts as well, and really paying attention to what my body needs. And when I'm helping people, really, really being in tune with where you're at and what's hurting and what recovery techniques need to happen and when you need to be extra, especially careful about what you put in your body and cutting out any of the more inflammatory vegan foods. That's all very important to pay attention to.
And I think that's building your awareness muscle. And we've
Yes.
talked about that so many times, that through the practice that you go through, whether it's yoga or meditation or whatever form of mindfulness you practice. And if you don't, you probably should consider doing that. But that is really what allows you to become more aware of what's going on inside your body, outside your body, around you, the people you're connected to. And really that awareness is so important in helping us thrive in every aspect. So I think that's really important. Now, so many people though say, oh, I'm going to work out. I want to get big. I want to get fit. How is it possible to do that when you're eating vegetables? Like, it just doesn't make sense. You're not getting enough this. You're not getting enough that. Like, do you get that kind of question often? Because I know I do when I'm talking to students all the time.
I do. And I love it because it really opens the door to talk about it. I found in my teenage years, I was really about the direct activism, thinking that because I'm an ethical vegan, if only people knew, right? They would do just like I did. As soon as they find out, they're obviously going to go vegan. Well, that obviously didn't happen quite like that, which was a hard pill to swallow, when you're first realizing that. So when I got into the fitness industry and started working in that industry and had a physique that people would ask me about, how did you get to be that muscular and how did you get to do so many pull-ups and lift so much weight? And I'd be like, wow, what a great opportunity for me to be able to talk about what I eat and the myths behind, how much protein people think you need and that it has to be, complete protein at every meal. And, all these myths that around protein in particular when it comes to the fitness industry and just the variety and understanding the difference between, having an awesome physique and actually being healthy. Because in the fitness industry, we're so focused on what people look like, And I think, again, as we start to get older and things start to break down and people's numbers start to change and blood pressure and cholesterol and all that becomes a concern, then that's another opportunity to start talking about the health in addition to the physical. I always talk about the physical as being kind of a side effect, like the weight loss. That's going to happen when you don't have to focus on weight loss. You focus on being healthy and packing your body with all this nutrition and fueling your body in the way it needs to be fueled to run its best and build the muscle and recover.
So I guess at this point, people are thinking, okay, if I work out hard or I want to work out hard and, I'm doing a variety of different activities and exercises, what tips do you have for them in terms of nutrition on possibly when to eat what, or what is too much protein, or to go into the fridge and eat that raw tofu? What kind of tips do you have for them?
I like to think outside the box for one. I think a lot of people, and do you guys agree that a lot of people are like, well, what do you eat for breakfast? Breakfast is a tough one for a lot of people. Yeah. When I kind of started thinking outside the box and experimenting and I tried fruit for a while, I tried lots of, overnight oats and all the normal stuff. when I started eating salad, like a bean-based salad for breakfast, everything changed. That and chewing my food to a pace at every meal, like every bite. Those two things really made a huge difference for me. And again, it's that ability to be in tune and do some experimenting, because everybody is a little bit different of what works best. Plus, when are you working out? When's your ideal time to work out? That's going to have, change what you eat and when. So for me, my typical routine lately, I've been either working out at 7 a.m. So I get up and I have a matcha latte with flax milk, and then I go and do my workout. If I'm working out a little later in the morning, I'll eat that salad beforehand, about 2.5, 3 hours beforehand. And I will be so filled with energy. And as long as I'm chewing my food, it doesn't sit heavy on my stomach. So I don't necessarily need to drink my breakfast. And I really enjoy chewing. I like eating. Do you guys like eating? Do you do a lot of shakes? I like chewing my food.
We go through phases. I think it's
me too.
kind of weather dependent for us, because it gets kind of cold here for a lot of time. For me personally, like, I don't like the cold stuff when I'm freezing.
And it would be more smoothies than shakes, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're not adding a meal protein to it. We're kind of like, for me, it's okay, I'm on the go. How do I get nutrients into my body quickly? So a fast blend and we're done, and I could nurse it. Yeah. But I like to eat for sure. We eat a lot of stews and beans and sweet potatoes for lunch and stuff like that.
The stews and the soups throughout the winter, and then the smoothies are happening. The smoothie bowls, the smoothies, that's happening.
Or just chopped fruit bowl. Yeah.
But I love that question, because so many people say, well, what should I eat for breakfast? What should I eat before a workout? What should I eat after a workout?
No, they say, what do you eat? And I think that's a big point too, because they want to know what you eat, but just because that's what I eat or what he eats or what you eat doesn't mean that that's what they should eat, right?
Which is what you said. Everybody's different and everybody reacts differently to food, and people need to start experimenting to know what works best for them. And we could sit here and give recommendations or suggestions or tell them what we do, but at the end of the day, what we do might not work for them. So they have to really figure it out. Sorry, you're on your own.
Well, no, we'll guide you. We'll guide you, but be, like you said, be intuitive, try things out and see what's really working for you.
Exactly. And I'm always happy to share, but I always preempt that with, just because this is working for me doesn't mean it's going to work the best for you.
So do you eat something different after your workout? Like, is there something special or a reason that you choose what you choose to eat after you've done your workout? Like, people are thinking at home, like, oh, well, I got to get my 20 grams of protein after my workout. So what do I eat to get that? But we know that we don't need that much protein. We don't have to worry about it so much, as long as we're eating whole foods, real foods, and a variety of it. But I'm curious to know, after your intense training, like, what would you put down?
Yeah. So like when I'm working out earlier in the day, I do a chickpea salad afterwards. So it's usually based in a bean, a legume, either any kind of bean, black beans, chickpeas, lentils, edamame. It'll be that with some sort of greens, tomatoes, avocado, some sort of a hemp seed or a walnuts sprinkled on top. I do put a little bit of a spray of olive oil in there. That's always optional, but it is part of my routine. And a little Herbamare seasoning is my. Do you guys know Herbamare?
Yeah. That's salt substitute. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I keep things simple. For lunch today, I had a huge bowl of green peas. I boiled green peas, and then I put walnuts on top, a little spray of olive oil, some Herbamare, and that was my lunch. It doesn't have to be complicated. I think also people start to, make it more complicated than it needs to be. If we can kind of simplify a little and say, okay, what's going to fuel me plus satisfy me? And again, experiment. And when you're chewing your food and eating slowly, you can control your portions based on how your body's feeling. Whereas if you're scarfing down your food really quickly, what happens? You usually end up overeating, right? And then you're like, shoot, 20 minutes later.
And then you're bloated and you haven't chewed and all of that. And I think that people think that they're really busy, and they're either too busy to make the time to eat properly, or they think they're too busy to eat, to make the food. So saying that you keep it really simple, but I know that your philosophy is really to eliminate the word busy and to eliminate the word, oh, I have to go and make my food now. So talk to us a little bit about that kind of philosophy so that people can start to apply it to their day and have a little bit more peace.
Yeah, vocabulary is so huge. I mean, that's how we're expressing how we're thinking, right, with our vocabulary. And when we use things like words like, I have to, or I'm busy, busyness, I mean, we're all busy doing something. We can be busy sitting on the couch, right? So if we can just, I challenge the listeners to eliminate busy from your vocabulary for a week. And you'll start to notice how often that becomes an excuse to do things that you know very well are not serving you, or to not do things that you know are going to serve you. And to also understand that everything's a matter of priority. And without our health, we have nothing. I mean, it's just true, right? So really paying attention and being mindful of the excuses we're making, that program that's running our lives subconsciously, that's keeping us from becoming the best versions of ourselves. And if we can eliminate busy and say, okay, this is a matter of priority, even if you choose not to prioritize making lunch, call yourself out on it. I'm choosing not to prioritize making my lunch. Why am I doing that? Then let's take a step back. Let's pause and say, what's this about? And kind of coaching yourself through those moments, taking that little extra time to coach yourself and just start to observe as a start, just observe where that thought is going and what the consequences of that thought are.
I really like that. And I think that busy isn't necessarily a negative word, right? We have used busy as an excuse to not prioritize. I'm not prioritizing that. Therefore, I'm going to say I'm too busy, and it's getting that negative connotation, because busy can be a good thing. Like, how's work? Oh, it's busy. Well, good. Busy means, depending on what your work is, you're helping more people, you're making more money, you have more money to give to charitable donations, right? Like that kind of thing. But when you're using busy as the excuse, that's really where it goes wrong. So I love that. Like, eliminate the busy. What words can you, if you want to say busy in a positive way, what words can we use instead that would just bring more abundance to us, but not be an excuse?
Stop making excuses. Just get it done.
No, but like if somebody goes like, sorry, I haven't gotten back to you. I haven't prioritized you. Or, or I haven't been online much because I've been busy. I've been surrounded by, I don't know.
It takes some thought. It takes some thought, and it's uncomfortable a lot of the times. But I think this is a really good thing. And I've caught myself because sometimes, even for a friend who says, let's go to happy hour. And, oh no, I'm too busy. That's easy. We can do that. We could say that. That's fine. But what if you really thought about, okay, no, I'm choosing not to. What if I was honest about that? And what is that friend going to say? And it's almost like about getting really honest.
Yeah. So no, I can't go to happy hour because I have self-care time, or I'm working out, or I'm working late, or I'm taking a bath and going to bed. Just state it instead of overgeneralizing, and state it. Yeah. I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I just for practice. You don't have to do it forever, but the point is to get aware. Because I think we say it without thinking twice about it. And it's about getting out of that subconscious and into our conscious mind so we can be mindful about our choices.
Right. Yeah. So not I've been busy, but I've been putting more time into my work, or spending more time with my family, or house training a puppy.
Is that what you're doing?
Specific.
Yeah. just saying. Yeah, she's been a good girl. She's right here next to us this whole time, sleeping. We didn't know how it was going to go. This is the first podcast recording with her at home. So yeah.
Oh, I'm so privileged to be in her company.
Yeah, amazing. So if people want to learn a little bit more about you, follow your inspiration, and see what you have to offer on social media, where would you like them to go?
Sexyfitvegan.com. You can pretty much find everything from there, at sexyfitvegan on Instagram. And yeah, you'll find all the links and lots of good stuff, lots of good tools and resources.
So what do you do with Sexy Fit Vegan? What exactly, tell us what it is.
So yes, my brand, we really, it's all about education. We have a podcast called the Vegan Life Coach Podcast. We've got the Vegan Life Coach Academy, where we've got trainings on all of these type of topics, from the nutrition and fitness components to the mindset. And it really is about the empowerment piece for me. And it's about helping people gain the tools that they need to live their best lives, to make conscious and mindful choices about what they put in their bodies, how they move their bodies, and to give them the resources they need to be able to do that for the rest of their lives.
I love it. So thank you so much for doing that. And Ella, we appreciate you taking the time to join us, for our listeners, and hang out with us a bit on the Plant Trainers podcast. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Shoshana and Adam.
Thank you all so much for listening to this edition of the Plant Trainers podcast. We want to make sure that you subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, or any other podcasting platform.
We really appreciate the feedback we receive from you. Every time we get a 5-star rating or review on iTunes from one of our fans, it really helps other people find us, just like you did.
Thanks so much to our patrons. To become a patron, visit us at patreon.com/planttrainers. Even supporting us with $1 really makes a difference in the quality of the show.
And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram and Twitter. Our handle is @PlantTrainers. Like Plant Trainers on Facebook, join our newsletter, and check out our website at planttrainers.com for awesome recipes, a list of our services, and of course, our latest podcast.
We encourage you to email your questions to info@planttrainers.com so that we can help you improve your quality of life through nutrition and fitness.
So we hope we've inspired you today. Join us again next time. And have a healthy day. Or is that too corny?
It's a little cheesy.